Yeah, what's poppin' guys? Sizzle here. Welcome back to another episode of How's the HUD. And in this episode, we're gonna be looking at m0rehud by Hypnotise. So first things first, the main menu, I noticed the coins there. I've already clicked it a few times. It's just nice and isolated though, which I'm actually a big fan of. Just like floating out here in the abyss. Got the level, but like no XP, which is kind of neat because I don't really care about my XP normally. It's nice and clean. We got white font for everything, but when you hover over it, it turns pink. Gives us access to every little thing we might want. We got the contractor, we got the demo UI for demos, we got HUD options, and a lot of HUD options at that, holy hell. Show FPS counter, net graph, select your aspect ratio, pick a theme, you can change the theme outright. In-game, this is all, I didn't install anything super crazy, this was just a drag and drop. And you can change all of this in-game. That's super sick. I hope more HUDs do stuff like this, because like I'm not trying to learn config files and all that. Just having this in-game, manually changeable at any point is ridiculously cool. This is super swag. You could change if you're using transparent view models or not, how the 3D player model's facing, the HUD hit marker customization. I didn't know you could do hit markers, and now you can customize them. You get the style of crosshair and how you customize that. Damn, this is sick. And then it can just reload to apply changes live in-game. That is genuinely amazing. And this is one of the coolest things I've seen any HUD do. That's just there. That is like the coolest set of HUD options. Weirdly enough, this one doesn't have a toggle for captions. Oh, it does. There we go. I was gonna say I didn't see a thing for captions. Let's turn them on. Captions on, and then I have to reload to apply. You could disable killstreak notices. I don't want to do that, but you could. Allow mouse input on scoreboard. This is like everything. This is genuinely like every single possible thing I've ever thought of changing. Wow. That's super sick. Anyway, I'm gonna hit reload to apply changes to turn on captions. I'll see you in a sec. Oh, it's done already. I thought that was going to take a second. Anyway, looking at items, the backpack looks completely standard. Like there's nothing changed. This is just straight stock backpack. Looking at the loadout screen, this is the stock loadout screen, except I think the red and blue buttons aren't normally placed there. I might be wrong on that, but this looks like 90% standard. Store is standard. The service button's kind of neat. You can open community servers just like that. You can hit plus to start your server just like that. We have a casual button that can keep casual or competitive just outright. What is... Oh, okay, so you can flip your competitive coin or flip your casual coin. I actually like that. That's like a random small detail. I wasn't sure what this button did. That's such a weird feature to have, but I fuck with it. It's pretty cool. Outside of that, the usual party menu thing. We have a toggleable friends list. I love this feature. I wish every HUD had it. This isn't the only HUD I've used that has a toggleable friends list, but it's the only one I've reviewed so far. I want to point out that I love it. The friends being way off on the side here, though, is kinda weird. I mean, maybe it makes more sense when you're in-game. Like, if I press escape in-game, it might make more sense for it to be back over there. We got the master config quick play button, which is pretty cool. This means you can just queue into any random community server outright. Hit queue for all game modes. And you guys can't see this, but it popped up in my browser and was prompting me to hit open in-game. And that would have just loaded me directly into a community server, which is like the old quick play style of stuff. That's super, super cool to have as a button. This is a pretty recent thing, so it makes sense why most HUDs don't have it. But having that is a super nice feature, and even has all the different sub-game modes. So if you only want to join the King of the Hill server, you can just click that. That's super sick. We have the same little menu down here that I've seen in a lot of HUDs at this point. I'm not even going to attribute it to any specific HUD anymore. The difference is this one's got a different sub-menu when you actually click casual. When you click competitive, it's even different as well. That's pretty neat. Well, and this one has it where you can just minimize one of them at a time. But that's sick. The other things of this, like that had this cool little menu at the bottom, which is really cool by the way, when I click this button, it closed the entire thing, but on here, it just backs out of this, which is super sick. Unfortunately, the casual button doesn't seem to have that same feature, but the casual thing does have the nice little drop downs, and it's nicely stylized and everything on here, which is super, super neat. Overall, super clean main menu, almost too clean of a main menu, but a lot of the features and functionality I love. This little casual competitive coin thing is just so super funny. I love this. I think I would want this in whatever final thing I have. The HUD setting thing, not m0rehud, where was it? HUD options. This is like the most insane thing I've ever seen, and the fact that you can, first of all, the fact that this just pops up in game without like anything crazy is ridiculous. And the fact they have all this info, color change required game restart and stuff like that, like this is nuts. This is like if I have no clue what I'm doing, I can just set it all manually in game. Like, what the fuck? How is this even possible? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm big fan of that. Hopefully that gets like used in more mods going forward. With that out of the way, with all the glazing out of the way, let's go hop in game and see how the actual in-game HUD ends up looking. Alright, we found ourselves a game. Also, this had the little flipping between red and blue on the Q thing that the stock TF2 has. Glad to see that this HUD has the default loading screens. I mean, they're just good. I'd be like really shocked if someone found a better way to do loading screens than this. Just nice little map stamps of it. It's just so damn good. Got a nice clear thing. Oh, I don't like this too much. The character select is tiny. Like, look at how much empty space there's on my screen compared to this is really small. I almost have a hard time clicking that stuff. Like, that's that's a challenge in and of itself. It's just clicking on the class I want to play. Obviously, you could just have binds. You know, you could press the 3 button to play Pyro like I did right there. But that's ridiculously small. A little bit too simple for my taste, and I think most people. I can almost barely read the text. Like, this is kind of ridiculous. The captions are nice, though. Like, the spy around here, that's in, like, the perfect spot. Super nice. I also really like the font they use on the numbers here. Like, that one looks pristine. The charge bar is a little bit too faint. Like, when it's not charged, I don't even see it. But when it's charged, you can see quite well. I kind of wish the base opacity was a little higher, because it's hard to see when the fully charged thing is, unless you kind of stare it down. Up at the top here, they removed the health bars, or the... Oh, it's on the character portrait. Like that Pyro right there, when you looked at his health, you look at the Devil Man, for example, you see that little white behind him, the heavy right there. That's pretty cool. That's a unique way of doing it, but it is super tiny. Maybe I should have done, I should have selected my aspect ratio. Let me try that. I do like how quickly it reloads. I feel like other HUDs have had problems with that. But yeah, I hit my proper aspect ratio, and this is still tiny as all hell. That's kind of a bit of a problem. I do love the font. The font used on this HUD is the best so far. The HUD, my guy in the bottom left is also super tiny. Even the point with 7 people capping is very small. I wonder if something went wrong somewhere. But yeah, trying out the engineer. Even the build menu is tiny as all hell. I feel like there must be something wrong, but the health bar and everything else is the proper size. So like, I don't understand. And on the left, the building menu's nice, simple, functional. But yeah, that's the biggest thing in this HUD. Everything looks tiny. It's like everything is like a fifth of the size that it normally is. Yeah, the medic menu, pretty standard healing menu, very much functional, but very much standard. Got the glowing health, you know, when you're overhealing people. Wait, was that the... I just realized the Uber bar's on the bottom of the screen on medic. That's really weird. I guess to be fair, I'm mainly looking at the number anyway, and the number's also in the middle there. But this little white bar on the bottom is the medic meter. That's super wacky. The skies menu is really tiny. Everything's so tiny on this. Like, I can barely... I don't know, maybe I just have, like, awful eyesight, but I can barely read any of this stuff. Well, let me know if you guys can read any of this yourselves, especially if you're on a mobile device. I'd be shocked. Yeah, overall, I really like the HUD options, the moving and beat stuff here, just super clean. The friends menu being way up on the side makes no sense to me. Like, maybe there's some type of technical restriction, because otherwise I would have put it on the left here. There's all this empty space on the left here, and it then is with everything else, which is super nice, but instead it's way off to the side, which I'm not the biggest fan of. All the elements, like, of the HUD are nice, but they're all so tiny for some reason, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. I also like the tab menu here. Seeing at the top, like, the players, having it mostly be transparent, you know, being able to click around, you could see, like, 3 and 3, you see the damage done over there. The damage is in a weird spot. I would put that on the left so it's closer to the kills and deaths, because that's what you want to see. That's a dead ring, but I still get a head for it. Fun little interaction. But yeah. Nice little overheal thing. You can see the white glowing plus sign in the background there. Wow, I suck. Oh, let me get out of there. That's a heavy. I'm so bad. A little ridiculous. That heavy is tearing me up. But yeah. It's just generally pretty clean all around, but a lot of it's way too small, and that is a real problem. If it wasn't so tiny, it has like all the right elements in the right places, it feels like. The toggleable friends list is sick. The HUD options thing is insane. Insane. I don't know if I'll ever see another HUD with it, like something like that. I hope they have it going forward. Being able to do that all in-game is ridiculous. Yo, I'm cooked, unless that guy drops. He drops, okay. That sentry still... Why is that sentry there? Such an annoying spot for a Oh, I'm definitely cooked. Hello there. Why is there just like a level 3 sentry off on that corner? I just couldn't move. If I moved that at any point, that sentry mauls me even quicker. The spectate screen's super clean here. Unfortunately, the like seeing what somebody's carrying and the subtitles were overlapping. That's something I noticed right away, but that's kind of like such a minor thing because most people aren't really reading subtitles that much anyway. Just worth pointing out. I don't know if there was a way to move it to the left side or something when you're spectating, but that might be a decent idea for the item and specs, but only when spectating, because normally it's fine. I guess normally it's not fine if it's the same problems. I don't actually know how you'd fix that other than maybe moving the captions. But then if you move the captions, they block other stuff, so there's just no winning. There's just no winning here. Low spire. I tapped out. I tapped out as I went to turn to get that pyro. There's like a bug that I've had with my monitors for a bit because I'm on Windows 11 temporarily, where if I drag to the left, it just drags off into the second monitor despite me being in full screen mode. Which is kind of funny. But yeah, the yellow text on the team that currently holds the point up top is also a neat little detail. I don't know, I kind of like where everything's placed on here, but it's just so tiny. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that everything's so tiny, this would be such an amazing HUD, and like, insanely customizable in-game as well. Which was just like, that's such a nutty feature to have. Wow, I suck. Okay, I don't like the end screen thing either. This is impossible to read. The 21, 19, 16, like the tiniest profile picture I've ever seen. That replacement for the end screen thing is kind of iffy. Taunt menu's also tiny. There must be some weird shit going on, because there's no way that they just have every HUD element down to like a fifth of the size. But as to whatever is broken, I couldn't tell you, but it's weird because it's not all broken. My health is not tiny, my charge meter's not that tiny, my ammo meter's not tiny, it's just literally everything else is like a fifth of the size that it should be. But yeah, overall, lots of really cool features in this, lots of really unique stuff I don't think I've seen elsewhere. It kinda has everything you could ever want in a HUD, and the ability to configure most of it in-game directly. Like, you don't have to mess with config files, you don't have to mess with like a little, you know, option picker website or whatever. You literally just go in-game, you hit HUD options, and you mess with it all right here, and just have it load right away. Like that's just sick. You even have the progressive health bar styles, big health, small health. This is super neat. I'm assuming one of these is probably to make everything bigger or something. I might have just clicked something weird. I don't know. But yeah, with that being said, there's not much more to talk about when it comes to this. It's just super, super clean, very, very customizable. Now all of a sudden it's showing yellow health, green health, and red health, that's a good feature to have. But yeah, the weird bug where everything's tiny, super clean though, super customizable. If everything wasn't tiny, it would be insanely, insanely good while being minimalistic and just kind of having most things I would ever want in a HUD. The end of screen thing, end of round thing was kind of weird. The backpack being unconfigured and the loadout screens being unconfigured is a bit unfortunate. Feels like kind of a waste. But yeah, with all that being said, I also don't know why I'm on Tokyo servers. That's even weirder than anything else going on here. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed. I know I did. And I'll personally rate this HUD probably a 4 out of 5. I think if everything it wasn't so tiny, which could be a bug, to be fair, could be a bug of some kind, but it's a bug it came pre-installed with, because all I did was drag in the HUD folder. I didn't customize anything outside of what I was able to do in-game with the little HUD options thing. And if that broke something, that's not my fault. That's part of the HUD's design. So yeah, overall 4 out of 5. If it had stuff that was bigger and I could actually see half of it, it's definitely like a solid 5 out of 5. It has so much, it's all customizable, it's all super clean, it's all super good. And yeah, with that being said, genuinely this time, see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed, have a great rest of your day.